Good evening. My name is Steve Bornstein, President of Temple Beth Sholom, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to our evening of tribute. Tonight, we honor some very special members of our TBS family: Stephanie and Mayor Chuck Kahn, Jill and Jeff Hamill, and Ellen Berjou, who have all made unique and lasting contributions to our synagogue and our community. We are very excited and proud to express our gratitude for everything that they have done and continue to do for the benefit of TBS. In addition to celebrating with them tonight, each of our honorees will be presented with a proclamation from the Camden County Board of Chosen Freeholders, acknowledging their many years of service and dedication to the community and Temple Beth Sholom. We can also acknowledge their accomplishments through the gift of tzedakah. I encourage you to please click on the donate button located on your screen at any time during the program to make a contribution. And in doing so, help support the TBS community, which is so near and dear to our honorees. To Stephanie, Chuck, Jill, Jeff, and Ellen, Todah Rabbah, for all that you do and continue to do. To the extent that we have success at TBS, it is due to the collective efforts of our clergy, staff, and lay leadership. Our honorees tonight exemplify what it means to give back and volunteer their time and talents to our synagogue. TBS is the beneficiary of this commitment, and we thank them with this tribute tonight.
Good evening, and welcome to Temple Beth Sholom's Evening of Tribute to our wonderful honorees, Ellen Berjou, Stephanie and Chuck Kahn, and Jill and Jeff Hamill. My name is Alan Ettenson. I am a member in good standing of Temple Beth Sholom, and I will be your virtual MC tonight. Due to the pandemic, this year has been a challenging one for Temple Beth Sholom, as well as our country, but we will not let it interfere with our obligation to honor
Alan, excuse me. I have to ask you to please put on a mask.
Sure, Ron. You realize I'm in the middle of a program?
Yes, I know. I'm sorry. This is important.
Well, do what you have to do, and let's move on. Go ahead.
I just need to take your temperature. Excellent. I just have to ask you a few questions.
Go ahead, Ron.
Have you tested positive for COVID-19?
No, I have not.
Have you been exposed to somebody who has tested positive for COVID-19?
No, I have not.
Do you have a fever, dry cough, or any other COVID-19 symptoms?
No.
Have you traveled to a COVID-19 hotspot in the last 14 days?
No, just parts of Cinnamonston, maybe, Morristown, Chesilhurst, that's it.
That's okay. I just need you to sign this, please.
Sure.
Thank you. And one more thing. Excellent.
Had I known he would have done that, I would have brought a towel with me. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Ron. That was important. That Ron Sophia does an excellent job, but where was I? The pandemic will not interfere with our duty.
Alan, excuse me, can you put your mask on one more time?
Ron, I'm in the middle of a program.
I know. I just need to check your blood pressure and
No, Ron, it's enough. Do you want me to get undressed?
Absolutely not.
Okay. I thought I had my physical this year. Again, where was I? We have honorees tonight. You know, Ron, maybe I should just skip this and go right to davening Mariv, although, well, now what? No.
I just need to disinfect the area, Alan. I'll be done in a moment.
Ron,
Just need to disinfect the area.
Ron, there's a program going on. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. Again, where was I? I was going to daven Mariv, but I understand that the rabbis have put me on the do not daven list. By the way, before we continue, please silence your cell phones, and if you have to get up, please do so quietly so as to not to disturb everyone else who is watching. In prior years, we have always enjoyed a dinner with our honorees, but we are in a pandemic and we simply cannot get together in our social hall. This year, it's only about our honorees. Ellen, Stephanie, Chuck, Jill, and Jeff, don't worry, you will not be shortchanged. Arrangements have been made to send you sandwiches from the Kosher Experience. Since March, our clergy and professional staff have worked hard to keep us safe, and at the same time, they have provided us with access to religious services and wonderful educational programming. Although we would like to forget this year, if you recall, during his Rosh Hashanah remarks, our President, Steve Bornstein, told us of the wonderful things still happening at Temple Beth Sholom. And maybe the best piece of news concerned our own cantor, Jen Cohn, and Steve announced that she signed a lifetime contract. After services, the phones lit up. Congregants were thrilled. However, unlike Steve, I am committed to full disclosure. Cantor Cohn's contract is, in fact, a lifetime contract. But to help balance our budget, we were not able to tie it to Cantor Cohn's life. Instead, it is tied to the life of Ava Schwartz. Ava is a senior member of Hazak. Rest assured, my friends, the medical scare that Ava had last year is over. Ava is now in excellent health for someone her age. Our committee of TBS doctors, which comprises about 40% of our congregation, will monitor and publish her blood work and vital signs every day on the TBS website for all of you to see, especially Cantor Cohn. That was a joke. What do you mean not funny? You know, in the book of Genesis, Lot's wife looked back and turned to a pillar of salt. You people looked up at me and you turned to some cardboard stiffs. What's up? Is there anyone here who will laugh at that? Susie, Arnie, Art Abramowitz, if there's anyone in the congregation who has a great sense of humor, I need a little more smiley. Arthur, Janet, Caroline. Eric, you would have laughed. Murphy, Deanie, please, Stooges. Can't believe you're in this congregation. Is there anyone here in this congregation who thinks that that was a funny bit?
Yeah, you never know when something funny is going to happen on this show.
Did something funny happen?
Yeah.
You'd never know it.
It's time to talk about our honorees. Without their efforts, this synagogue is simply not the same. You will hear from their co-chairs, but first, just a few words from me. Stephanie and Chuck Kahn, you have done so much for Temple Beth Sholom. Stephanie, you have been on many committees, and your talents have helped beautify this building. Chuck, as mayor, you have prepared so many proclamations on behalf of prior honorees that I am glad that you and Stephanie are finally being honored. Chuck, there is a rumor going around that before you left office, you prepared an undated proclamation to be used for you and Stephanie. I hope this rumor is not true. The two of you have always stepped forward to assist Temple Beth Sholom whenever asked. Stephanie and Chuck, you heard me spill the beans on the Cantor's contract, And so I must also confess that about 2 years ago, my wife, Deanie, asked me to leave our house for a while. It had to do with some transgressions, and you can find those transgressions on page 467 of your High Holiday Machzor. Not all the transgressions, of course, just a few. I had no place to go, so I had to sneak into the lower level of your beautiful home on Ann Drive. I was there for about 2 weeks. You never knew I was there. This is my opportunity to thank you. Jill and Jeff Hamill, we thank you for all you have done for Temple Beth Sholom over the years. Jill, I have thanked you so many times at these events, quite frankly, I'm getting tired of it. But you have worked tirelessly for Temple Beth Sholom, making sure every I was dotted and every T was crossed.
Alan, this is the Lord thy God. Can you hear me?
Can I hear you? A deaf person can hear you.
Don't forget to talk about Jeff.
Where are you? Are you in the...
Alan, it doesn't matter.
It does matter.
I am here. Get on with it.
It does matter. Couldn't you buy seats in the sanctuary and not be in the social hall?
Alan, enough of this shit. Talk about Jeff.
Okay. Excuse me. They say that behind every great woman is a great supportive man. Probably not in my house, of course, but look at Martin Ginsburg behind Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Morris Meyerson behind Golda Meir. Jeff, we thank you for sharing Jill with us. And Jeff, Jill could not have done so much for Temple Beth Sholom without your support. You assisted with the family, you ran your business, and still found time to do volunteer work in the community. Ellen Bourgeois. Ellen, I have checked my files, and it appears that we first spoke about contract issues about 20 years ago. You have built the preschool and early childhood program into a first-rate program. Day in and day out, you deal with these beautiful young children. I can't imagine how many noses you have wiped, how many spills you have cleaned up. Ron Saphir even advised me that you found most of the missing children. Yasher Koach. My guess is that those that still may be missing may be in the TBS Lost and Found, playing with Rabbi Wexler's keys. And to think that 20 years ago, you didn't even like children. You deserve this honor tonight. Now, before I introduce the co-chairs, I must thank the following people who contributed to this program during these difficult times. Alex Weinberg, Michelle Hasit-Waxman, Ron Saphir and the entire TBS staff, the Tribute Event Committee, our sponsorship chair, Eric Stevens, our annual sponsors who continue to support us during these very difficult financial times. And of course, special thank yous to Rena Platt-Goldstein, our special events chair, Shirley Fagenbaum, our overall funds development chair, Steve Bornstein, and finally, Mike Perlow, who does a terrific job in putting these programs together. To introduce our first honoree, Ellen Bourgeois, I would like to call up Missy Wayne. About 12 years ago, Missy put her daughters in our preschool program. Her daughters loved it so much, they're still there. Missy and her husband joined TBS. They love the program so much. Please welcome Missy Wayne.
Thank you, Ellen. Before I talk about Ellen, I want to say Mazel Tov to the Hamels and the Kahns. Thank you for all of the amazing things you have done for our community. You are truly inspiring. Now, I'm honored to introduce the ever-smiling Maura Ellen. Ellen has been part of the TBS family since 1991. She came through the preschool like so many of us. Unlike the rest of us, though, Ellen is still there, and she has been the ECEC director for almost 20 years. I'm excited to share a little bit about Ellen, along with a small selection of her many accomplishments. Ellen is a master at building and sustaining relationships with children, families, and the community. She even hired some teachers who were once her own preschool students. Ellen has implemented many hands-on programs that connect the children to the community while they do mitzvot. Every Thanksgiving, the ECEC does a mock harvest in the greenhouse and then donates to the JFCS food pantry. Through her many relationships, Ellen has brought Kids Music Round, Kid Fit, and the Garden State Discovery Museum to TBS. She has also forged partnerships with ECEC parents for mural projects and for the annual Lag BaOmer Day at the JCC camps at Medford. Ellen was the first person I met at TBS. Her incredible warmth and engaging manner drew me in right away. During my time co-chairing the HSA and ECEC, I was able to see a true innovator in action while developing a daycare program to further expand the reach of our school. Working closely with Ellen allowed me to see an artistic, warm, passionate, and brilliant educator who never stops working to provide a top-notch education for our children. My time in the ECEC naturally ended, but our relationship grew into a wonderful friendship. So many parents have watched their children thrive in the school, and I hope that it warmed their hearts to see them run up to Maura Ellen for hugs or Hershey kisses, the way it always warmed mine. Ellen, we are all lucky to know you and to watch our children grow with you. I want to wish you a hearty mazel tov on this much-deserved honor. I'm sending you a big virtual hug, and I'm looking forward to our next sushi date.
Ellen, thank you for saving all of the animals and humanity by helping them get on the ark. Without you, the world would have been lost.
I've often called Ellen the Ruach Center, the Spirit Center here at TBS. Her energy, her enthusiasm, her love for the kids, it comes through in everything that she does.
She really knows every single child, and I think that's what every parent hopes, but she really does. She really cares about every kid as if they're her own.
Should have bought stocking Crayola because we most certainly grew up with just a ton of projects all the time. Sometimes they were silly, sometimes it was to create gifts, sometimes it was educational. A lot of times it was baking and cooking and singing silly songs that had to do with what we were doing. Growing up, I could definitely say that it's always been fun with my mother. She's always been this positive, bubbly ray of light, sunshine to everybody.
The things she would do as a teacher and then as a director, dressing up in funny costumes and the funny spin she used to put on everything in the workplace is the same way she was a parent and what my childhood was like.
We came into each other's lives about 15 years ago, and we've been together ever since. I could say she's the best person that's ever really come into my life. We enjoy Bruce Springsteen together. We love going to the concerts.
She's instilled a lot of my moral values that I have today, that loving and giving and putting people before herself. She's just one of the most caring people that anyone will come across. I look up to her. She's my best friend, and I'm thankful for her.
I am who I am and where I am because of my mom, my values, how I prioritize family, friends.
I love her sense of family, the fact that she brings everybody into our family, my family, her family, together.
One of the amazing things about Ellen is that she is constantly taking a step back and saying, what can we do now? What can we create now? And that's something really special. I mean, she's been doing this for a while. We have a great program with great teachers and great families, but she's constantly looking around saying, what's the next thing?
She's great to work with. You know, it's just amazing that she can keep it all together. She hires the staff, she gets the children in, she's a very good salesperson. It's a lot of hugs and love and warmth. Her creativity is never ending, and I find that just amazing.
Ellen is a huge part of the growth of the Eric B. Jacobs Early Childhood Education Center in attracting new families. You can see her walking around giving tours, and people just want to be here and they want to send their kids here.
Long before COVID, she has always had safety in mind and just the joy of making sure families and children had a joyful day.
When I think of Ellen as an educator, I think of one of my favorite quotes by Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel. We don't need more textbooks. We've got plenty of textbooks. He said, what we need are text people. We need those educators in the classroom and running our schools that are going to help the text come alive for our children. That's what Ellen does every day.
She's creative, she's artsy, she's interested in all of those things, like the full child and all of their experiences, and not just about, classroom learning, but really making sure everything is really well-rounded.
When I first came to TBS, which is over 40 years ago, Ellen was my next door neighbor. We walked the halls together. Today we set up a farm together. We work really well together. She makes sure that she's in the classroom once or twice a day. And it's very important to her to do that.
During family dinners, we still are singing the songs that she sings during her nursery school seders. And Mom, we're all grown up, but she has such joy in what she does, and it carries over to everything we do with our family.
She has the most extensive costume collection that I've seen. So whenever I need a fun hat or a costume, I go to her.
There are many costumes that Ellen has dressed me up in over the years, many hats that I've worn that have come from her endless supply in her closet.
Well, usually it begins with Ellen saying, Rabbi, have I got a costume for you? I just put it on and do my thing. Children, we've got to hurry. The rain is going to come. We need you all to come on the ark in twosies.
Ellen was always successful with the kids, continues to be very successful with the kids, lights up around the kids, engages with them beautifully.
It's not just the kids. She takes their success, but also the entire family, and works with all these children and parents to make sure that they're successfully raising confident young people that grow into our community.
She's really brought in a wonderful crop of young families who are just vital to all of TBS, and who then get involved in sisterhood and get involved in men's club and really become part of the larger fabric here. Ellen's vision for that daycare has been remarkable and has just created such a change here at TBS. But she knew that was a crucial component and took it on, and she worked so hard.
It was an extraordinary amount of work for Mara Ellen. All the paperwork and all the logistics and all the planning and the scheduling and all those pieces, you just don't realize what goes into creating an early childhood program, certainly one as successful and as rich as the one we have here.
It's all, let's make it happen, right? Let's do it. Let's find a way to do it. Whether it's during this time of the pandemic, trying to put together our school and to make it work, to make it happen, thinking about, well, all right, we're not able to go to Johnson's farm to do picking like we normally would. So let's just create a field outside in our parking lot with pumpkins, with fruit, with flowers, with all these things. Let's bring in animals that children can pet.
Today I walked into work and there was a bunch of goats hanging outside in the parking lot for the kids to come and pet and enjoy.
Ellen, I'm so happy to speak on your behalf and to say how much I love you and enjoy working with you all these years. And you deserve this honor. Of course, I have to cry.
Ellen, I am so proud of you, of your accomplishments, and what you have created at the synagogue.
Mom, I'm so proud of all you've accomplished, both in your professional and personal life, and all you've done to grow the early childhood program at TBS to what it is today. I'm so proud to be able to call you my mother, and I love you very much.
Congratulations. I love you. And tonight celebrating you, it's very well deserved.
Ellen, on behalf of Noah and Abraham and Moses and Mordecai and everybody else who wears this costume, I want to say Mazel Tov.
Seriously? I will compose myself. Words on a paper are very tough after seeing that, and I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. 30 years ago, we moved from Philadelphia to Cherry Hill, and the only thing I knew about New Jersey were two things: going down the shore, and Bruce Springsteen was from Asbury Park. But I made my way to TBS with two children, and I discovered TBS, and Jordan went to the preschool, and I moved into the preschool as well. My two children went on through TBS, and I stayed in the preschool, as it was called then. Excuse me. 3 decades traveling a road has had many turns and detours. I have watched us go through so many transitions, and what was previously called the Temple Beth Sholom Preschool is now the Eric B. Jacobs Early Childhood Education Center and what it represents. Through those many changes, there was one thing that never changed. We are a home, a community that would provide the foundations for lifelong involvement in Jewish education, where children can grow with Judaism with all of their senses in a safe and nurturing environment. Along with this, a community to be there for each other, for families to grow, to make lifelong friends. And tonight, you're thanking me? Nah, my God, my life here has been my life. A living dream to teach and nurture and guide our children and inspire a love of learning and Judaism. I'm humbled. I'm really humbled and grateful for those that have been there to accompany me on this journey. I can talk much longer, but I know I need to cut my time a little bit short. But there's so many people to thank, and the impact that they've had on my life at TBS and my life in general. To my fellow honorees, to Stephanie and Mayor Chuck Kahn, to Jill and Jeff Hamill, it's an honor. It is truly an honor to share this tribute with you. I'm in awe of all of you. Thank you to the tribute committee, along with Rena and Shirley, and many thanks to Missy Wayne and Michelle and Alex and Ron, the entire committee for making this possible tonight. To Steve Bornstein and the executive committee and board for your never-ending support and understanding. Our TBS office staff, Patty, Ruth, Laura, Howard, Allison, and Steve in maintenance, and your crew. A lot of thank yous. Gail, you know me well, and keep it together for not only me, but the office, and Mora Harriet, who she said, we've been there from the beginning, through thick and thin. And that connection is something I will always cherish. Our clergy and senior staff, my family, Rabbis Peltz and Wexler, Rabbi Lindemann, Cantor Cohen, Ron, Michelle, you have been family. You really have. Thank you for always being there for me. And Alex, my rock star, you opened a door for me, and I'm forever changed for that. All the families over the years have been beyond generous and supportive and allowed me to be part of their children's lives. Not only our families, but all these families that have been active and gone through the synagogue, as well as been involved with our HSA. To all my teachers through the years, these are the backbone of our school. Each one brings something very special and unique to our ECEC family. Your dedication, creativity, devotion, and love of our children is a common thread in all of you. The Eric B. Jacobs ECEC is a memory of a man who had vision, wisdom, kindness, and above all, heart. My love and thoughts are with him tonight, with him and you, Carolyn. My children, Candace and Jordan, and my Jenny and Wes. My kids have had, as Candace said, more than a ton of preschool stories, games, rhymes at the dinner table. You grew up at TBS, and whatever road you take, TBS will be part of who you are. And Steve, my biggest cheerleader and support. Thank you for this honor, and thank you for letting me live this dream. I love you all.
Congratulations, Ellen, and once again, thank you for everything you have done for TBS. To introduce Stephanie and Chuck Kahn, I would like to call Susan Bass-Levin and Susan and Dr. Arnie Baskis. I'm not going to say anything negative because Arnie threatened me that he would remove my spleen if I did so. Please welcome Susan Bass-Levin and Susan and Arnie Baskis.
Louisa May Alcott once wrote, "It takes two flints to make a fire." Stephanie and Chuck are a team. They are two flints who make a fire, and that fire lights the world with kindness and joy. We are all so fortunate to call Stephanie and Chuck our friends. I've known them for more than 40 years. We've shared ballet and books, and now with Chuck, a world as Cherry Hill mayor. Chuck and Stephanie are a team there too. Stephanie always has his back. Chuck and Stephanie light a fire in our community and support each other's dreams and our dreams. They are truly a Renaissance couple, and I am proud to call them my friends.
Good evening. It's our pleasure to be introducing Stephanie and Chuck Kahn as tribute honorees. How appropriate that this year's theme, From Pirkei Avot, Greet Every Person with a Cheerful Face, is so appropriate when it comes to Stephanie and Chuck. If you ever approached or conversed with Stephanie and Chuck, you will always be drawn in by their warmth, openness, and caring in what you have to say. Stephanie is truly a Gutta Neshama in all that she does for the community, and that carries also through her profession. Besides being a talented interior designer, she taught for 18 years as a reading specialist for Cooper Hospital's Learning Center. She supports Covenant House, which brings awareness to homeless youth, and supported the Cherry Hill Mayor's Wellness Campaign, which garnered statewide awards. Let me just say that Stephanie is the type of friend who is there for you in good times and sad times. When we traveled to Cuba on the synagogue trip with Rabbi and Jane Lindemann, we danced together in the streets of Havana, laughing and singing, and during more trying times, we supported each other through family illnesses. Stephanie is there with love, compassion, and support. How fortunate we are to have Stephanie and Chuck as good friends and to have them as part of the TBS Mishpacha. So let's talk about Chuck.
I have the honor to tell you a little bit about our good friend Chuck Kahn. One of the things you take note of when you first meet Chuck is that he does not put on any airs. He is genuinely interested in you and your family, and what really resonates with me personally is that Chuck gets a real charge out of mentoring young people. When you get to know Chuck, you find out very quickly that he is gracious, self-effacing, and humble, and that if he has a guiding principle, it is to improve the lives of people who are less fortunate. There is an old African proverb which Chuck lives by: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others. Chuck and Stephanie, on behalf of the Baskis family and our kahila here at Temple Beth Sholom, and the literally thousands of people you have helped in our community, through your enduring commitment, your leadership, and your generosity and philanthropy, thank you. And congratulations on this wonderful night of recognition for your lifetime of good deeds. Mazel tov.
It is extraordinary for a congregation to have members who are Jewish community leaders and who are leaders in the Cherry Hill community.
They have purposely set out to live a life where they can raise a family that they are proud of. They have friendships that they cherish, that they live in a community that they can give back to and be a part of. That was all very intentional on their part.
They've always been obsessed with kindness. So growing up and still now.
They have an extraordinary, kind and warm touch, which they bring to everything that they do.
My mom's favorite saying is kindness counts.
It was always on the refrigerator. Kindness counts. Happy birthday to you. Wait a second. It's not your birthday. Happy tribute day to you. Happy tribute day, dear Mom and Dad, and a mazel tov to you.
Chuck and Stephanie have been incredible partners at TBS for so many years. Chuck, of course, grew up here, and their kids grew up here.
The thing that make my mom and dad so unique is their selflessness. My mom is just the absolute best listener, and she is so compassionate, and whatever you feel, she feels too. If you cry, she cries alongside. If you're happy, she's happy too. And my dad is so similar. He listens with open ears and always wants to motivate and help everybody he can.
I knew from my experience with them, from growing up with them as parents, I wanted to really focus on helping people. And so to me, public health was a really inspirational field that I was able to combine my love for science and health with the values that they had taught me of always helping others and keeping others in mind, and the importance of putting others first.
I always appreciate calling Chuck and Stephanie, and I know that when I call them I should be prepared, because he always asks great questions and very precise questions about how the synagogue's doing, what sort of programming we're doing, what we're thinking about. He's always very curious and also very helpful and insightful in helping us think through our directions going forward.
They intentionally bring meaning to their life. I think it harkens back a little bit to my parents and the fact that they raised us in a home that really spoke to the values of Judaism, and they really cared about community. They cared about their friends deeply. They cared about family. They cared very much about education and curiosity.
There's so many things that, we try to model from Steph and Chuck and our children. Their philanthropy is something that's been very important to them. Our kids now go to Jewish preschool, and they've gotten very involved in the Jewish holidays, and it's become important to our kids. And Steph and Chuck really make that a priority.
When I think about Stephanie, I really think about how she's beautified so many holy spaces in our community. I mean, it happened here in our sanctuary.
I can point to certain touches in this room that I know show her hand. I'm not a decorator, certainly, but they invited me to be part of it, and I really appreciated that.
At Kalman Brown Academy, she was instrumental in creating that beautiful building that they have in Voorhees now.
She and I work particularly on the Torah mantles, which are the ones that we use on a week-to-week basis.
She's really done a wonderful job helping so many spaces become more beautiful, more holy in our area.
She has a great eye, a good sense of what works as a decorator.
One of the last tribute dinners that we had, Stephanie was working on her vision to have this incredible design with butterflies and chicken wire that was set up in the Friedman Social Hall. And I walked in to see how it was going, and there was Chuck working to implement the vision. And he had his sleeves rolled up, the sweat was rolling down his face, but he wanted to make sure he got it right for Stephanie. And I think that's just one example of the incredible partnership the two of them have together and the way in which they use that to make our community and so many places in our community stronger.
They cannot relax.
No, they're the busiest retired people I've ever met.
Yeah, they work harder than all of us, and we have jobs.
Between the two of them, they just complement each other so well. They get along great. They've done a wonderful job of raising their kids to be just outstanding citizens. And they've just been role models for people in the South Jersey community and really in the greater Philadelphia area.
Chuck being the fourth mayor in a row from TBS, along with many other council members that we have had and we currently have as part of TBS, really is something we're very proud of as a synagogue. It's something that shows our commitment not only to our Jewish community and to our synagogue, of course, but also to our broader community.
It sets a wonderful example for all of us of what it means to have multiple ways of engaging with community and promoting community.
It's understanding that Judaism must be putting our values into action. And that's something that doesn't only happen at our Shabbat tables and our holiday tables and our services, but also happens out in the community. How we think about how we better our community, how we help those in need, how we try to create structures and ways in which we all can thrive.
Just the way he gave back to the Cherry Hill community when he served as mayor, never taking his salary, and just doing it because he wanted to give back to the community. And that's a rare trait that you don't see out of somebody these days.
They're just two of the most selfless people in the world, and they care so much about the people around them.
They also set a very high standard in terms of what people should aspire to do.
They feel strongly in everyone having something to contribute, no matter what it is. Everyone has something that they can bring to the table.
What it comes down to is just love, so much love. I mean, I've never seen anybody possess so much love for the people around them, for their children and their children's children and their friends. And it makes me so proud.
They're each uniquely impressive, but together, they're pretty astonishing.
We're overwhelmed. Thank you so much. That was just so beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful words.
And thank you for this beautiful gift Chuck is going to show everyone. It's just gorgeous. Thank you so much. We look forward to putting that on our walls and remembering this special night. To Susan Bass-Levin and Susan and Arnie Baskis, Sandy and Sid Brown, and the entire committee. Thank you for your kind words and genuine efforts in support of making tonight a success. We have been blessed with your invaluable friendships. And thank you to my amazing sister, Lynn Friedman, for speaking on behalf of all of our siblings and family who we lovingly cherish. A heartfelt congratulations to our fellow honorees, Ellen Berjou and Jill and Jeff Hamill, who work passionately on behalf of TBS. Mazel tov. The theme of tonight's tribute dinner is Greet Every Person with a Cheerful Face. Fittingly, Elie Wiesel said, "For me, every hour is grace, and I feel gratitude in heart every time I can meet someone and look at his or her smile." Wow, how poignant during this health crisis. Every moment has made us appreciate those smiles and cheerful encounters fully, the opportunities that we have all shared together, and how warm, eloquent gestures touch us in immeasurable ways. We have been inspired by the deeds, actions, and expressions of all of you, our TBS clergy and community, our friends and family. We have needed to go out of our way to reach each other during these challenging times, to find our cheerful face. Rabbi Peltz, Rabbi Lindemann, Cantor Jen, and Rabbi Wexler, we have been fortunate to be touched, influenced, sang to, and taught by you, our extraordinary clergy. Thank you for all our years together. David and Remy's wedding, our children's bar and bat mitzvahs, parents' shivas and funerals, baby namings, services, sermons, travel to Cuba, visits, class songs, and classes. You are truly gems.
This is an evening to pay tribute to our wonderful Temple Beth Sholom community and its special clergy and lay leaders, the people who have worked tirelessly over the past year to bring all that our synagogue has to offer into our homes virtually without skipping a beat. Through their efforts, we, as TBS members, feel the enduring warmth, continue to see their smiles, hear their prayers, participate in educational programs, gather in the comfort of Jewish songs, and so much more, all of which are so vital to Jewish sustainability and strength. Tonight, the real tribute goes out to the entire professional staff for creating and maintaining this new TBS real-time experience, which continues to bond members, old and young, past and present, near and far. The years have flown by, and we treasure every moment with our children, David, Remy, Matthew, and Elizabeth. Thank you for your candid and authentic words tonight. They were really beautiful. We are infinitely proud of who you are. Sharing life with you has been a journey beyond measure. You continue to teach us as much as we had hoped to teach you. You mean the world to us. And now our hearts burst with joyful pride as we watch our grandchildren, Jamie, Asher, and Mimi, grow. We love you all infinity. L'ador v'dor. Thank you, everyone, for being with us this evening and for your generosity, friendship, and love. Thank you.
Stephanie and Chuck, congratulations once again. We appreciate everything that you have done for Temple Beth Sholom. Now, to introduce Jill and Jeff Hamill, I'd like to call up Heather and Mark Kramer, their co-chairs. Heather and Mark, you have spent so much time together with Jill and Jeff, your families, and you all share a love of Temple Beth Sholom. Please welcome Heather and Mark.
Thank you, Alan. Good evening, everyone. Mark and I met Jill and Jeff over 12 years ago when their daughter Ava and our daughter Jordan started preschool here at TBS. Over the years, our daughters became the best of friends. 2 years after Ava and Jordan met, Zoe was born, and she and our daughter Allison became inseparable. To this day, all 4 girls are extremely close and spend so much time together. As families, we have shared so many great times with Jill and Jeff. While spending so much time with them, it is so easy to see why they have been chosen to be among those honored this evening. Jill and Jeff are truly 2 of the most selfless people I know, always being the first to lend a hand or offer to help out in any way that they can, and often without even being asked. They are amazing parents and are so actively involved in everything that Dara, Ava, and Zoe do. From the soccer field to the tennis court to the dance studio, Jill and Jeff do not miss a beat. But all that they do certainly does not stop there.
Jill and Jeff are very active in our local community. Jeff currently serves on the JFCS board and serves on various committees, and he was also a past member of the board of directors for the JCC. Jill has also spent so much time here at TBS, both as a lay leader and a member of the professional staff. She started as the chairperson of the Young Members Group. She was also very involved in the Eric B. Jacobs Early Childhood Center and is also a past graduate of PLI. In 2013, she joined the senior staff and she became the Congressional Life Director. She served in that role for 6 years. And now she is back as a lay leader, serving as a vice president of the executive committee, and also as part of the strategic plan committee.
Jill and Jeff, we are so lucky that not only are you our friends, but you have become like family to us over the past 12 plus years. We look forward to celebrating so many more simchas with you and your family. You both go above and beyond in exemplifying what it means to be leaders in this community.
Heather, Jordan, Allison, and I wish you, Jill and Jeff, a hearty mazal tov for this richly deserved award tonight. And we also want to say congratulations to the other well-deserving honorees, Mayor Chuck and Stephanie Kahn and Ellen Bergiou. Now please enjoy Jill and Jeff's tribute video.
We need light more now than ever in our world. And when I think of those sources of light, Jill and Jeff are on the top of my list.
Everything about them, there's a sincerity to them that is so honest and just genuine. They're just this incredible duo.
So if she saw somebody at Kiddush who was standing alone, Jill would be the first to go and engage that individual. If there was a new member, she would make a date to sit with that person at services, introduce the person to others, make that individual feel very comfortable. I can't tell you how many people she brought into the congregation because of the personal connection they felt to her.
There's a genuineness that comes from both of them. We were at their house recently, and when we said that we liked something that they had, they were like, well, we'll help you if you want to go buy something like this. We'll help you put it together, and they mean it.
So Jeff will be taking a break from his girls at home next Sunday, putting together our new couch.
Jill and Jeff are those people that you thank God for as part of your community. They're so dedicated to TBS and so believe in our mission and are such key players in helping us fulfill that mission. And it's not just at TBS. I know Jeff is very involved at JFCS in the community, has been involved with the JCC too, and they both care very much about the community.
When Jill and Jeff are together, the humorous banter back and forth between them is just delightful. And to know that I was part of their being married and starting that relationship as a couple to TBS is a real blessing.
You will take the match that God has made and you will turn it into a marriage. And that is what we celebrate today.
I came to TBS in July of 2007, and Yael was born in March of 2008, and Zoe, Jill and Jeff's daughter, was born just a few months later. So I think that was really one of our first connections to Jill and Jeff, is me coming to TBS my first year here, getting to know Jill as a mom in our preschool and somebody who was an active lay leader, but especially when Zoe and Yael were born and the girls started growing up together. We had a lot of wonderful opportunities to celebrate Shabbat, to celebrate holidays, to celebrate birthday parties, and to watch them grow up together.
They are both so committed to TBS and to the community at large, to their girls certainly, and to their families. They truly know what it takes to make a community thrive, and that is leadership and dedication and commitment.
One of the most meaningful experiences for people here at TBS over these past couple of years has been the Torah Ora project, the project where we restored the Holocaust Torah. One of the reasons why this program was so successful was the way that Jill created and structured the program, not just the logistics pieces, but working to make sure that every single participant felt like this was really what it was, a life-changing moment for them.
So in 2012, Jill and Jeff traveled with me on our TBS Adult Israel trip. It was a wonderful trip, a wonderful group. We have a lot of great memories. And you probably won't be surprised to learn that it was Jill who put together this book of pictures from the trip that we went on. And there are many wonderful pictures that are in here too.
Having Jill there when I first started was invaluable. She was my sounding board on many different issues I would get her input on. Jill is very intelligent and has a lot of great insight.
Jill and I, really our first major time we got to work together is with the Young Members Group when Jill took over as chair and I was working with the group at that time. And it was just an incredible 4 years to work with Jill as part of that group. She did some amazing, amazing programming there.
Jill is amazing. Whenever there was an event, a program, a meeting where she was involved, I was always confident that it would be perfect. She covers everything, she's meticulous, she's thoughtful, and I was always confident that anything she touched would be well done.
One of Jill's greatest strengths is she's the best educator I know. And she approaches these programs or engaging with congregants or just congregational life as an educator. So each one of these programs or meetings or whatever it is, it's approached through a master educator's eyes.
She's so amazing at not just thinking about a program and how much fun it'll be or how much prestige it might bring, but she's always thinking about what is the big picture, what is the mission of TBS, what are our values, and how do we get those across?
She thinks long and hard about some difficult decisions that have to take place here at TBS and at home as well, and always does the right thing. It's not always the easy thing, it's not always the easy decision, but she has led many people in the right direction to do the right thing.
I really got to know Jill when Eric hired her. He would say that probably one of the things he's most proud of is the fact that he hired Jill into the position that she had here, where she became Director of Community Engagement.
And she and Jeff, as a team, have made people feel welcome here, have brought people into the congregation, have encouraged those who have been in the congregation to increase their level of activity through the Young Members Group and then on beyond the Young Members Group. It's extraordinary.
I've gotten to know Jeff through my involvement at Jewish Family and Children's Services. We've sat on the executive board together for the past few years. Jeff is just so kind and so thoughtful and so smart in everything that he does, in relation to TBS, and it's really amazing. He's always a voice of reason. So whenever there's a concern or there's something that we're trying to flesh through at JFCS, Jeff always has the most even thought process and the most grounded advice.
Jeff and Jill both instill such a wonderful love of Judaism and a love of really doing your best. And I think it showed. The whole family reading Torah is a really powerful example to set for their girls, to have both parents reading at each bat mitzvah.
It was definitely very inspiring, and it encouraged all of us to start to get involved in the community. Like now, we have leadership positions in BBYO, and we've gotten more involved with reading Torah and all of that fun stuff, get involved with Jewish life more here. They basically just taught us to get involved with the community and to give back. And we've definitely done that over the years. When I grow up, I would like to be like them.
It's clear that they pour themselves into their children, into this congregation, their work in the community as a whole.
If Eric Jacobs were still here, he would be busting with pride because he would be so happy for Jill and for the whole family.
There's a Hasidic teaching that says that our job as Jewish people is to be the lamplighters of the world. And what does it mean to be the lamplighters? Wherever people are to be found, we have to lift them up. We have to seek out people and help them to become the best versions of themselves. That's how we bring light to the world, is we inspire others through our kindness, through our generosity, through our love, through our setting an example of what it means to be a good person in the world. And that to me is Jill and Jeff Hamill.
Wow, that was so beautiful. Thank you so much for this magnificent evening, this exquisite gift. a personalized glass print by Israeli artist Jordana Klein. It's so beautiful. And this meaningful proclamation from the Camden County Board of Chosen Freeholders, all of which we treasure. Thank you. We are overwhelmed with feelings of love and gratitude to be honored by our beautiful TBS family. We'd like to begin by saying Mazal Tov to Stephanie and Chuck and Maura Ellen. We are humbled to share this evening with these esteemed honorees who are cherished in our community.
Our recent Thanksgiving holiday presented us with a special opportunity to pause and appreciate what matters most in our lives, our family, our community, Jewish life and learning, and moments of joy and connection with those we love. Let's begin with tonight. This tribute is a once-in-a-lifetime moment. It brings us such joy to be honored for our connection to Temple Beth Sholom, which has truly been our home away from home. We love TBS with all of our hearts. Thank you to our co-chairs, Heather and Mark Kramer, for your work creating this exquisite evening on our behalf. We love you and our special friendship.
Thank you to Michelle Haseet-Waxman, Alex Weinberg, and Ron Saphir for the love and tireless work that you put into creating this evening and for your incredible dedication to our community. We appreciate everything you do. Thank you to Rabbi Peltz, Rabbi Wexler, Rabbi Lindemann, and Cantor Cohen for leading our community and supporting our family. You teach us and inspire us every single day, making us want to give more, and we are grateful to have you in our lives. Thank you to Shirley Fagenbaum, Rena Platt-Goldstein, Allison and Mark Shapiro, and to Eric Stevens for your leadership and endless creativity. This evening would not have been possible without you.
Thank you to Mike Perlow for creating this evening's outstanding tribute videos and enabling our TBS family and friends to celebrate with us virtually. Thank you to our president, Steve Bornstein, for always sharing your talent and expertise and making tonight and every TBS experience we have so beautiful.
Thank you to Allison, Ruth, Patty, Susan, Laura, Gail, Howard, Amanda, Minna, Steve, Joe, and Sonia. We appreciate everything you do for TBS.
And thank you to the entire virtual evening of tribute committee, TBS annual sponsors, event patrons, and all attendees joining us this evening.
We were so touched by this evening's theme from Pirkei Avot, greet every person with a cheerful face. This quote holds special significance for us because we have been so fortunate to encounter many cheerful faces along our Jewish journey who have greeted us, included us, encouraged us, and supported us, and by doing so, nurtured our love of Jewish life and learning.
The first and foundational cheerful faces we encountered were our parents, who created loving Jewish homes for us, shaped our Jewish identities, and prioritized our Jewish education and involvement in the community. This was especially true for my mom, who made it her mission to ensure I received the meaningful Jewish education that was unavailable to her as a child. Thank you, Mom and Dad, and Mom and Dad. We love you.
When I moved to Cherry Hill with my parents in 1987, we were warmly welcomed to the community by Janet and Art Simons one afternoon at a local swim club. This friendly and unexpected outreach included an invitation to visit TBS in Haddon Heights, where we were then enthusiastically greeted by Rabbi Lewis, Zichrono Livracha. Our course was changed. It was Beshert. This would be the beginning of countless warm greetings and invitations to learn and become involved in the life of our incredible shul.
We were cheerfully greeted under the chuppah by Rabbi Lindemann, who guided us into creating our adult Jewish home together. We were blessed to welcome our three daughters, Dara, Ava, and Zoe, into the world, three cheerful faces who bring us incredible joy and pride every day of our lives and have inspired us to become more deeply involved in our shul and our community. Dara, Ava, and Zoe, we love you and are so proud of you. Our TBS educators, Rabbi Peltz, Rabbi Wexler, Rabbi Lindemann, Cantor Cohen, Alex, Maura Ellen, Maura Harriet, Jared, and Alvin, have cheerfully greeted, taught, and loved our children and our family. And our TBS family has greeted us cheerfully on Shabbat and holidays, at classes and programs, and at family smachot, celebrating with us throughout the years.
At each life stage, our TBS family has made our family, including our parents and our children, feel so welcome, so comfortable, and so loved. L'Adore Vador. Our community is indeed at the center of our world. I'm grateful to have served as a TBS volunteer alongside so many dedicated people in our community. A special thank you to Rabbi Peltz and Alex for seeing potential in me, encouraging me to become actively involved as a young parent, being a constant source of strength, purpose, and guidance, and supporting me and us with your friendship. And I am eternally grateful to Eric Jacobs, Zichrono Livracha, my beloved mentor, who welcomed me to the TBS professional staff in 2013, changing my life and my course, creating a gateway to be surrounded daily by the wisdom, love, laughter, and kindness of our clergy and staff, and so much more deeply connected with our TBS family and community. Thank you, Eric, for giving me the opportunity to be a part of your team, and in doing so, enriching my life. Eric's memory is a daily inspiration. He loved TBS with all of his heart and taught me in words and actions that when you love something, you get back so much more than you give. We too love TBS with all of our hearts.
TBS has given us so much to our family over the years, and giving back brings us tremendous joy.
We couldn't love and miss our community more, especially during a time that could feel incredibly isolating. Our shul has found new and innovative ways to stay true to this evening's theme from Pirkei Avot, and continued to greet every person with a cheerful face, outdoors and over Zoom, keeping us safely and closely connected.
As we conclude this weekend of Thanksgiving, our hearts are full and we are grateful.
And our hope for you as we prepare to celebrate Hanukkah in a few days is a holiday and a winter season filled with light, love, good health, and countless warm greetings from cheerful faces. We hope to see you and greet you soon. Toda Rabah.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jill.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
To all of our honorees. At this time, I'd like to thank everyone for logging on and tuning in to our tribute event. As we all know, it's been a very difficult year, but what we did tonight was very important to honor these people. I've enjoyed being your MC for this evening. Canna Cohn, I know you're listening. Rest assured, we will adjust your contract. Everyone, please enjoy the refreshments that you've prepared for yourself, and everyone have a good and safe week.